Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another wonderful game here of the ALTTPR League. This is Season 3, Week number 4 here of the Open Division League. I am one of your commentators. I am Bandman25. I am joined here in the booth by Lumaga83. How you doing today, sir?
Very good. I got to tell you, this is the week of League I've been looking forward to the most. This is so fun to see the two teams go at it, where one has a pilot reading the spoiler log to someone who's blindly following their directions, and you got to have a lot of trust and understanding between your teammates of what can they do in a low percent situation, how much should you route in some safeties. So this is going to be great.
Oh, I totally agree with you. This is one of my favorite weeks. This is definitely Key Sanity spoiler log. So if you're not familiar with this mode, basically what's going to happen is each runner, RickyofKokiri, his co-pilot is Ohado, and he is going against dannymusic with his co-pilot of Jeff. Here in probably the next minute or so, they are going to start the race. They are given the spoiler log, which tells us where every single item is in the game, all 216 chest locations. But there is a slight curveball here because this is a key sanity race. So all of those keys that we need are going to be somewhere in those 216 chests. As we are getting ready for here, both these teams, RickyofKokiri, he and Ohando, they are members of Guardians of the Galaxy Brain. Their third teammate is Westside Vandal. They are currently sitting at 3-3. They have 9 points. They are currently tied for fourth in the Tower of Hair division. And dannymusic with his pilot Jeff, they are part of the ambiguously canon content. As a team, they are currently 1-5. They have 3 points, and they are tied for sixth in the Tower of Hair division.
Yeah, when you look at these divisions, there's definitely some teams that are kind of running away with it, but there's a lot of competition, right? I would not count out most of these teams here, particularly like a 3-3, as you say, Guardians of the Galaxy Brain. Still, we're only in the fourth week. So there's still this week and 3 weeks after. A lot can happen between now and the end of the season.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. If you take a look at the standings here, if you actually get a chance, go check out everything at ALTTPRleague.com. That's got stuff on the Invitational League as well as the Open League. For the Open League and invitational information, you just need to go check out. Click on the top of the webpage where it says Open League, and that will bring you all of your standings. And then right next to it is the open schedule, which is the exact same, I believe, as what the Invitational Division has.
All right, looks like we're about to get ready here. One thing about this type of spoiler log race, in some spoiler log races, you'll get some study time, right? You'll get 15 minutes to figure out what's a good route to go through. But here, your pilots are going to be you'll get the log right when the racers start. So you have no time to study. It is going to be pretty stressful for these pilots for the first maybe 30 minutes.
And we are off here. Looks like we are starting with dannymusic. Found the map of Tower Hera there in the sanctuary. Going to take off into the village. It looks like right now we do have the spoiler log in our hands as well. We're not going to go too deep into it, but it looks like our pendants today, it looks like we have an Eastern Palace. A Tower of Hair is our green pendant. Turtle Rock is the pendant of power. Wow, it looks like our 5-6 crystals. Looks like Ice Palace and Dark Palace of Darkness. Wow, those are interesting 5-6 crystals and our green pendant.
Yeah, having a Turtle Rock pendant means, of course, you may not need certain things like the ice rod. You may not need to go very far into it, but right now, we got a lot more immediate things on our hand. First things first, get some get some money. Looks like Danny Music is picking up big 20, which he's going to need for maybe either a Hera or maybe to buy some bombs. A lot of things coming up here in Kakariko.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see him picking up money. I mean, it can only be a few things of what we could use for money. So it looks like we're now making our way south into Kakariko Village. We did find a small key there in the thieves' hideout. I didn't get to see which one it was though. Oh, it looked like it was Turtle Rock.
So seeing that there's a Turtle Rock key they picked up, it is a pendant, but could be something, at least a little bit in there they'd have to go into. There's a pod key and a bow and some bombs in the well.
Ooh, and a mushroom. There's our first fetch quest item of the match here at 1 minute 50 seconds. Wow.
So Ricky had skipped the top of the well, but Danny is going into it is get a safety. Actually, this is a great move. Like I mentioned, you kind of need to know what your teammate is comfortable with and how many safeties or hearts you're going to need to route in. That's an easy one to get there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many safeties will we actually pick up through this race. In the open division, it's kind of common to see a low percentage strat here. Being here in the open invitational, I think we're going to see several heart pieces picked up, but I think probably the most we'll see is going to be probably around 10 hearts total. I don't see him getting under that second line, and it looks like we find our first glove there at the race game.
So these runners didn't do a whole lot here in Kakariko. We saw the well and we saw the race game. Danny Music went into Blind's Hut, picking up a few arrows here. So I would assume that the rest is just not worth it. And that glove is going to lead us to our next check here.
Yeah, with that glove, I mean, right now that we can actually get up Death Mountain we want to, even though it's not in logic. But I'm sure with these runners, logic probably doesn't mean a whole lot unless they're getting too deep in the game when they're looking for that one item for go mode. And it looks like Ricky there was trying to pick up the bomb drop, and he got a couple there. So now he's making his way to the dam while Danny Music going to pick up that first glove.
Well, there's your second piece of your Dark World access, getting a hammer out of the floodgate chest. And that's our first weapon, actually.
Yeah, if you've been watching previous weeks, we've had from what was last week was casual boots with the sword. So yeah, it's good. Definitely a different sight here. Finally, not seeing that sword right away. So you're absolutely right. Finding that first weapon. Oh, and a key. Small key to Castle Tower. I was kind of hoping we can stay away from all that area for now. Looks be interesting. We need to go there.
Yeah, a couple reasons you might need that. One, you might need the second treasure in Castle Tower, or you may need that for your Dark World access to get up all the way to Aghanim. We'll see if they have to pick up that second tower key.
Oh, hopefully we can stay away from that. Looks like right now, though, both of them are going to be checking out what we got here in Mini Moldorm. Both of them using different strats here. Ricky using the hammer and bombs, while looks like Damien's using some arrows here. Making some nice shots here. Well, until I said that, I better knock on wood while I can. Oh, there's our big key to Thieves Town. Oh, and our flute. Those are two definitely good finds. We find those Titans mitts. Or no, we can actually get... Or no, we still need a Moon Pearl first to get to Dark World. Which I'm sure that's probably going to be their next check that they find here pretty soon so they can get into that Thieves Town area. That's a big key right there. Unfortunately, don't have that small key, so hopefully we won't be leaving that big chest in there at the bottom of the castle, or bottom of the dungeon. Sorry.
Well, they know if it's worthwhile or not, so that big key might be sufficient. Both going to have to pick up that, activate their flute. And you mentioned, trying to find Dark World access. We've still got a few things we can do, particularly with the flute. You can, the first two checks in Death Mountain are in logic. We could flute over to Saha and Eastern. That bow, right, tells us maybe we want to go into Eastern.
Yeah, and we can also make a very quick check there to the potion shop with that mushroom. Go over there to number 2 with that one, and it looks like going to number 8 here. Going to check out some Lake Hylia strats here. While Danny Music picking up some bombs before he probably making the same exact call. Ricky trying to do some fake flippers. Looks like he's got it on that one, and yep, there he goes.
Yeah,
wow.
Here's where the two pilots are going to start prioritizing some different things. So Ricky needs to get something off of the hobo. Danny knows there's something up in Spectacle Rock area. So it's just, he does flute away. It's interesting to see like what you prioritize, which items you want to get first.
And the hobo gives us a small key to Swamp Palace. There's our small key. So the only thing we need now for Swamp Palace is just that hook shot once we find that moon pearl.
Well, we do need a mirror to get over there, open the dam.
Yeah, that we do.
We'll find
Need to turn on my brain here at 10 o'clock at night here for this race. And looks like Danny Music making his way now into Eastern Palace. While Ricky making his way up the mountain, but be interesting to see if he goes the rest of the way, since Danny Music kind of went about halfway, then he fluted out. So no, he's going to continue. And Danny Music making his way back.
Yeah.
Oh, but takes a hit by the cabbage.
So there's something here in the Spectacle Rock Cave, which Ricky's going to get. Danny may have been back on his way up to get that. A big key, okay.
Oh, the Eastern Palace. Oh, that might be a reason why he why Danny Music noped out of there real quick once they realized where that big key was. So he's probably going to get that now. And that's probably where Ricky is going as well. Going to Eastern.
Yep. You have to remember that it's a key sanity seed, and you do need to find the big keys somewhere before you get too far into the dungeon. So that, I'm sure that is what happened here with Danny.
Yeah, I know for me, when it comes to these key sanity type races here, you gotta get, it's a whole nother thinking when it comes to these races, trying to make sure you not only do you have the right equipment to get through it, but you got to make sure you have the right keys to get into it. I mean, here in the Eastern or in Light World, don't really need a whole lot of keys. It's with Desert and Tower Hair, it's just, I believe it's one key each. But when you hit that Dark World, it's a lot more.
Ricky went straight to Eastern, skipped Saha. Having the benefit of the spoiler log, you're not going to waste your time if you know that there's nothing there, and I would guess that there's nothing there at this point.
Yeah, you're about right. I won't tell anybody what it is, but yeah, you're right. And it looks like Danny Music now is right behind him here, now going into Eastern Palace. So be interesting to see what we find here.
Well, they needed the big key, and they got the bow. So could be on Armos, could be just big chest. May have to go all the way to the vanilla big key chest here. Ricky's going to open up this big chest and find, hey, the magic mirror.
That's always a nice early find to have. That now gives us access to our Tower of Hera with that mirror. And now RickyofKokiri making his way back up the mountain again, I think for the third or fourth time, if I remember correctly. But at least he can now get up to Tower of Hera, and with that hammer, he can actually clear out all of Death Mountain if he would like.
Yeah, with the hammer, all of East Death Mountain is open. So we got Paradox Cave. There's 7 items there. Spiral Cave is over there. Can take a look at the floating island.
Oh, and a key there, big key there on Spectacle Rock. And Danny Music picking up in his mirror. He's noping out, and he's probably going to make his way up the mountain once again as well. We got ourselves a big key too. Oh, Misery Mire. That is definitely one of the required big keys you need for this game.
Yep, definitely important.
So here is our second pendant dungeon. We are having to dive deep into it. Let's see, your Tower Hera. Ooh, the red cane. Definitely going to need that. And is he noping? Nope. He's going a little bit farther.
So in a normal seed, you'd have 2 items here, but with Key Sanity, you get 5, and including the Titan's Mitts today in the lobby chest. So there's your... Nope, we still need the Moon Pearl here for Dark World access, but we're getting closer.
Yeah, those are 2 very important items we found there. We found the Titan's Mitts. That now is our... Well, it doesn't matter. We have both ways into Dark World, but we still need that Moon Pearl. And looks like RickyofKokiri going to maybe check, go the back door here into Desert Palace.
So that's our first crystal dungeon we'd be dipping into. No fire source yet to go all the way to the back.
Oh, and there's our Moon Pearl. So there's our Dark World access at just a little over 13 minutes. And Ricky not even going to take his time going into Desert. Looks like he's going to make his way to Agena.
Danny picked up his mitts. He's also fluting away. Looks like back to the Mire area. He knows the Moon Pearl is there too. He knows there's something here in Agena. As his pilot, Jeff, is, I'm sure, telling him. Well, that cape is good as a safety, but, you know, it is necessary if there's an item on Bumper Ledge. So once we hit the Dark World, let's see how quickly they go to Bumper.
Yeah, between Bumper Ledge and Spike Cave, those are the 2 big places there. So I know I would prefer to see Bumper Cave before you have to see Spike Cave.
Yeah, you're on 3 or 4 hearts here. You've only got the cape, no half magic. It's going to be a rough Spike Cave if you have to go there.
And I would say we're going to get it possibly check out of Hype Cave here on RickyofKokiri's side. Wow, looks like Danny Music now is going to pick up his item here at Agena. He gets it. Ooh, Ricky takes an untimely death there, but at least where he died at, not too much of a setback. Just starts there at Link's house and go hits that portal one more time.
Yeah, normally you would not be in the Dark World with only 3 hearts here. But with the efficient routing you have to do here, safeties be darned, he's going to need to farm bombs out of this 50-50 if he wants to get further into Hype Cave. There he gets one.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of the tree pulls yet either, so maybe he can get lucky. There is a pillar that he can pull here just south of Hype Cave that can give you whatever tier you are on as a tree pull here in the Dark World. It's one of the few places you can get a tree pull here in the Dark World. I believe it's that one right there he's standing next to right now.
Yeah, I think that's the one. There's also one next to the pyramid and one on one of the claws in Turtle Rock. Ooh.
Oh, there's our entrance into both Mire and Turtle Rock there with Quake. Get ourselves a key to Misery Mire. Ooh, the hook shot. So there you go. There is our complete access to Death Mountain, but we already had that. But at least we go the south route, as well as now that it allows us to beat Swamp Palace. And looks like Danny's doing a hula hand strat here.
Yeah, looking to get some money. Gonna need it definitely for some places in the Dark World. Needs to have money to enter Palace of Darkness, which, aside from keys, he's got enough to go in there. Could be farming some money for Zora.
And Ricky making his way up here to Stumpy. Well, what does he give us here? Oh, we get our first sword. That's always a good find now. That now gives us our access into the back of Skullwoods, but we still need that fire rod to get the rest of the way in there. And it looks like Danny Music making his way to Pod.
Yeah, needs 110 rupees to get in there, and he started off with very few. So that hula hand was definitely his trick to get into Palace of Darkness. Has no keys. No, has one key, if I'm not mistaken here.
Yeah, he does have one small key, but I know for me that makes me extremely nervous, not with the keys, but with his heart right now. He's at 1.5 hearts. So basically getting hit by anything is going to kill him here. But I'm sure he'll get through this without any problems. But just it makes life just a little bit more difficult with that health bar that he has.
Well, with one key in Pod, you've got very limited options, right? He's got the bow, so he could take right side and use a key all the way in the back, right? But he's going to need to find more if he wants to get further in.
Yeah, it looks like Ricky doing another strat here into the hula hand room as well. So he might be making his way to Pod as well. Getting that easy, quick money here. Danny Music now into the basement of Pod here on the left-hand side. Going to take here out the Mimic rooms. Luckily, he has the bow, so he doesn't got to do any weird potion glitch or Mimic glip here. Life nice and easy.
You know, we did see two different versions of the hula hand glitch. One in the graveyard, one at that ferry drop down. There's a third one, which we're not going to see, but a couple different ways to pull off that tech. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for the boots.
Nice. If I remember correctly, I think there's, 4 or 5 different ways you can get hula hand. Ooh, and the flippers. Holy cow.
Well, flippers, mirror, hookshot. Hey, that sounds like Swamp Palace to me. We have the key as well, which is on Hobo.
And Danny Music, he mirrors out. Looks like he's going to take the long way around here to get to Swamp Palace. Oh no, he's got to get the key to Hobo first, so he's got to take the long way around. So that's why he mirrored there. I was kind of scratching my head on that. I was trying to figure out why in the heck he was going this direction instead of going straight to Swamp Palace. But if we look at his tracker, he can't go very far because he doesn't have the key. And it looks like Ricky not too far either behind Danny Music here. Gonna pick up his footwear here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, and he's already picked up that key from the Hobo. So we should see a pretty close Swamp Palace dip here for both of these two. Ricky, of course, having the advantage of the sword. He found that on Stumpy. I was actually wondering why Danny wasn't dashing through some of these enemies on his way to the Hobo, but they haven't routed that in yet.
Yeah, they're going to pick up both those here probably in about 10 to 15 seconds here. And Danny Music now finally making his way here to Swamp Palace. Or no, he's going to check out Hype Cave first because he needs to pick up his hook shot as well. So there is RickyofKokiri's boots and his flippers. He saves and quits right away. Gonna probably... Oh, he's starting at the Sanctuary.
So he may not be thinking Swamp Palace then, just yet.
And he's fluting through. Maybe he's going to be checking out Thieves Town for us. Or no, looks like that was a miss... Or no, it wasn't. Yes, it was a miss flute. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it looks like now he is making his way into Swamp Palace here.
So they've got everything they need to do. They know if they need to do left side or not. They know, don't have the big key, so unless it's in here, chest may not be in play. But 10 items here in a key sanity seed. Normally there's, I believe only 5. No, there's 6 in a normal open. So lots of potential for things to be here. Even if we didn't have the spoiler log, this might be this would be a good place to go to at least look at some item dense locations.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, with Palace or with Swamp Palace, there is 6 items on there, but because the key is moved around, because the map and compass are also shuffled up as well in the main inventory. Yeah, so instead of going from 6, we now have 9. Or sorry, no, we don't. We actually have 10.
Yeah, there's 10.
Because normally we don't think of that for that very first chest there in Swamp Palace where you get the small key is usually as an item key. So, because in pretty much every game, there's always a key in that very first chest, unless you're in key sanity here. So, and it looks like Danny is going straight to the back here. So it looks like nothing of interest there on the left-hand side. So
it's either nothing of interest or it's not exactly worth it, and he's confident he doesn't need it.
it looks like we're gonna get see a diver down here on Danny Music's side. No,
not without any magic. So he has no magic. Now if I'm not mistaken, he could have attempted a bomb diver down, but it's a slightly different setup. Maybe he doesn't know it.
Yeah, you can set up through bombs and with the Canis Maria. Bomb strat looks like it's a little more complicated than what Canis Maria is. I can't get into it exactly myself because I know I personally struggle with the diver downs, but it's always a cool glitch to watch. Looks like we're going to see it for ourselves here on Ricky's side. Dives in, gets lodged between the block and the wall, and then he jumps right over and, oh, there's our lamp. No more dark rooms in this seed.
Yep, Danny Music picking up both of those items the old-fashioned way. Skipping the waterfall chest here. Maybe. Yep.
Just our compass there. Or okay. Compass to a rock. So
here's the thing. You know, some of these chests, right? You got to know exactly what they're referred to, right? I mean, that is the waterfall chest, but there are some where it's like you got to know which is the vanilla map chest, which is the vanilla compass chest, because that's how they are laid out in the spoiler log, right? As I mentioned before, it's pretty stressful in the first 30 minutes for the pilot. You've got to really know where to send your player.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If you get a chance to ever get a look at a spoiler log, or at least when you play casually, take a close look at the spoiler log. If you're not careful, you don't read it right, you could go completely in the wrong direction, especially when you see like the big chest and the big key chest. I mean, granted, that's only one word difference, but both of them can take you in completely different directions. You need to know where the map chest is at, or what's called the map chest, where the compass chest is called. Yeah, definitely you need to make sure you know what you need. And Ricky takes an unfortunate death here to Argus.
Yeah, so we see two different strats here. We've got the hook shot to hammer with Danny, which sometimes is referred to as the slideshow boss. But Ricky trying to use sword spins on that. Yeah, he took just too many hits. And in the Dark World, these enemies hit hard. They have green mail. He's got 4 hearts. This is not easy. It's not an easy call to send your runner deep into this that early, but it's sometimes the only move that they really have.
And right there, just at 27 minutes here, Danny Music picks up his first crystal and the powder there on Argus. So that puts him currently in the lead here. Now, I'm sure this lead won't last very long when Ricky here takes care of Argus himself here on this second time here. But at the same time, though, in a spoiler log seed, these seeds don't last very long. And that one itty-bitty mistake right there on Ricky's side, that can cost him a lot of time here in a spoiler log race. And now I'm not saying that it's going to, because I'm sure Ricky can probably make it up. So, but we'll get to see here.
Working on that diver down. He does pull it off, going for round 2 of Argus. And K45 here, just a compass. Oh, maybe just using that to get hearts, but the other possibility is, a pilot needs a second to get his bearings.
Yeah, and plus walking around Dark World with just 4 hearts, that's 2 hits and you're done. But he does have a 5th one, so that does give him a chance to take that extra hit. Does finally get his sword from Stumpy here. Looks like he's making his way up to Thieves Town. Dig game possibly. Nope, gonna skip the dig game for now.
Got this mirror out, and well, interesting. Going to the library. Okay, what's up here?
Oh, another key, another small key. I've never seen that mirror spot where he doesn't get bonked out of that. I figured he would have mirrored right back to what he can, because that kind of kills his portal there. So
I want to point out something. Chad is saying don't hook shot up in the Argus fight, right? So the hitbox of these little puffs, if you are south of one of those puffs, you're hook shotting up and pulling it down towards you, you are much more likely to get hit from one of those, just from the hitbox, than if you did it from the top or the side. So you got to kind of know your bosses in these situations. This is certainly a low % Argus here.
yeah, it definitely is. And right there at Magic Bat, that now gives Danny Music his first bottle blue goo here. So that's going to be nice to have here. Definitely on 5 hearts. All that for right now just open up the possibility of Sick Kid, which is just a screen transition and a couple rows up here. And looks like he's going to go bypass it and make his way into the Dark World. Going to finally check out here what's in the Thieves Town area. Ricky doing a much better job here on the Argus fight.
Yeah, we did find that big key early on. So Thieves Town, fully clearable, minus that chest in the chest in the basement. Although, if there's nothing in the attic, you could steal the key and use that for your basement key.
Yeah, that's one of the few times where you can actually get away with doing that. I did totally had spaced my mind with that attic where that second key for Thieves Town. And it looks like we just found a heart container there in the brewery, so that gives a little bit more health and safety here to Danny Music. And just under 31 minutes, Ricky finally takes down Argus. That gives him his first crystal. And he's fluting out. Looks like he's going to go to 3. Kind of maybe same direction as what Danny was doing.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of options open. Neither of them have gone to Dark Death Mountain or East Side Death Mountain. So I would assume this is the best play for both of them. Ricky probably grabbing that potion first.
Yeah, it'd definitely be nice to have that on only 4 hearts. And Danny Music now making his way to the back here of Thieves Town. Picking up that key.
You know, we did find armor over here in Thieves Town. Danny Music picked it up out of the compass chest.
Oh, no, I didn't even realize that he had picked that up until you just said that. That's always that's a great find to have, especially at 6 hearts. So that pretty much just cuts all your damage in half, that everything you take here in the Dark World. Ooh, looks like Ricky making his way up to the castle.
Yeah, we haven't seen this yet. We haven't seen Front of Escape, Uncle, Dark Cross, even the back of Escape, the sewer chests.
Is he going to Aghanim? He's going Castle Tower. Interesting. I mean, he did pick up that Castle Tower key a little bit earlier.
Yeah, two chests in here. One needs a key. This first one does not. So we'll see how far he has to go.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, when we do Aghanim's Tower, you don't think of it actually getting anything out of it unless it's your Dark World access. It's kind of hard. Sometimes it's very hard to think of it as, and you need an item up here.
Okay, so he skipped this first one completely. This second chest here has a key to Thieves Town. Okay, this is, this is something. Danny Music didn't need it though, did he? He's not banking on that chest at the bottom.
No, he just went straight down or he went straight up to the attic to take down, open up the light hole, and then went straight down, picked up the maiden, and now he's going to take out the maiden. So that's kind of an interesting find there, where he picked up that key. I mean, we did find the key to Thieves Town or I thought we found a small.
We found a Castle Tower key pretty early. So I'm hoping that the big chest here pays off for him. That's the only reason you'd spend the time going up to Castle Tower to do that. But Danny Music finishing out Thieves Town pulls off a pretty good blind fight here, picking up a key to Desert Palace as a reward, but a crystal as well as that. 2 for him on the board.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what's here in the basement that what Danny Music has passed up here since he didn't go get that key. Be kind of interesting to see what we have here. Oh, and there's our mail upgrade. Yeah, I think we both, or at least I know I missed. I'm not sure about you, but
I'll admit I missed it, and I saw our tracker lighted up. Yoinka's wife, our tracker tonight, doing a great job for us, keeping us on task here.
Oh, and there's the truth about our cape there on Bumper Cave. There is our fire rod that we need. We need that for Skull Woods. So that's definitely a great place for that fire rod to be found.
Yeah, we did see that cape pretty early, so we thought could be a couple of reasons you'd get that Spike Cave or Bumper Cave. And here we have our answer.
Yeah, that gives us our access to finish up Desert Palace. That gives us our basement of Tower of Hera. That gives our Skull Woods access. It gives us, without Bombos, we can kill Cold Stare with that, but I'm sure they will want another sword before they even get there, because nothing's worse than a Cold Stare fighter sword fight here.
You'd be forced into a hammer Cold Stare fight at that point, I think.
Somehow Weibo just missed the Ganon Tower's big key. They're in the attic.
So indeed, you're right.
It looks like the big key guessing game is no longer available. So no internet points for anybody today. Sorry, chat.
Yeah, better luck next week.
And Ricky needs to be careful here. Only on one heart here in Thieves Town. So, and with that fighter sword, we're gonna make life a little bit difficult. But now that he's gotten down here, hopefully we can get all the way through here. Oh, he picks up a nice. Ooh, that's a nice
stun prize. Drop. That's the stun prize there. So good for him to, figure that out, or have his pilot tell him stun prize is a heart. You need some hearts here.
Definitely a great find with where he was at. So he picks up the maiden. Now, what's going to be in the big key chest?
Yeah, this has to be something worth that investment of going, a third of the way up the tower here. Sword. Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely nice to have the Master Sword here. And it looks like dannymusic here needs to be careful here on his magic. Kind of low here. Looks like he's going to have barely enough magic here to take care of this torch room. Oh, but that's right. He does have a blue goo. I had kind of forgotten about that blue goo.
Yeah, but that doesn't feel good to use it here. You've got Fighter Sword Moth coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be a very tough fight. Luckily, he does have blue mail. Ooh, he's finding hearts all over the place, so he can at least recover some of his hearts before going in there. But need to get this key, though, from this Gibdo. And Ricky is having an amazing fight using the cape strat to take down Blind. There is his second crystal, just a little over 39 minutes into the race. Picks up his small key into Desert, and we are back to being tied 2 crystals apiece.
Yeah, definitely a good fight, and it's actually going to make this next part of the Dark World a little bit easier, having the Master Sword over the Fighter Sword. The question is that going to be enough firepower to kind of make up the time he used to get it? Right, you're seeing you're seeing a Fighter Sword fight here on dannymusic's end, getting a couple hits in, getting a few fire rod shots as well. Got to be real careful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which mail you have. Getting hit by those spikes, that's a 1 heart damage down to his last heart. Oh, and he gets sniped by that last spike right there. I think he had about 1 or 2 hits left there. Left that Mothy to fight. So close, but looks like he's going to take off for now until he gets some better maybe some upgrades when it comes to potions, or even in his heart count. And it looks like we're going to see ourselves a Dark Death Mountain play here on dannymusic's side. You had called that a little bit earlier with places we have not yet seen.
Yeah, they did have that hammer and that mirror early enough when they came up here. Didn't go very far in Tower of Hera either. Actually, no big key, no hook shot, so I don't think they even had the opportunity. But do have the hook shot. Could Hera pot up most of the tower if there's no need for the big key.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting play. I mean, being a green pendant here. And he's exact. Wow, he's going back in here into that. So there must be something there on that green pendant. Be interesting to see what we get.
Yeah, either green pendant or up in the compass chest, or even on Moldorm. But yeah, you're not going to go in here unless there's a reason. Unless your pilot is not being 100% honest with you. All right, lining up on that pixel, gets it and avoids the soft lock, gets into the pot, and warps up 3 floors.
Yeah, it's amazing now how broken Tower of Hera is now with that Hera pot glitch. I mean, usually Tower of Hera is usually a couple minutes at max. Now the dungeon itself is about 45 seconds. It's amazing how fast it is. And Danny Music here using that hammer, going to be taking out Moldorm here. Needs to be a little careful here. There's 2 hits, and
he's getting so close to that hole in the middle here.
There
he goes.
So it'll be interesting to see how quickly he takes that green pendant and turn it. Does he do it right away, or does he kind of wait a little bit? So currently here, we are about 42 minutes race with a little bit of downtime here before Ricky takes on his Mothula fight. Going to be a little bit easier here with the Master Sword. I want to make sure that you give our runners a follow here. Ricky of Kokiri and Danny Music here. I also want to give a shout out to their teammates as well. For Ricky of Kokiri, his pilot is Ohado. For Danny Music, his pilot is Jeff. The other 2 members of their team, Westside Vandal, I've seen him in chat here already. And on Ambiguous Canon content, their 3rd member is Flip Heel. Or no, sorry, not Flip Heel. Oh, I can't read my notes all of a sudden. Give me a second here and I'll be able to tell you.
Brakar.
Yep, there it is. Thank you, sir. Yeah, give them all a follow. Give my COCOM, Lumaga, a follow. Give our tracker, Yoinker's wife, a follow. Without everybody's help here, we would not be able to see all these great races that we're seeing here. So please give everybody a follow. They deserve it.
And on that note, give Bandman25 a follow as well. We did see Danny Music go back into Hera after he had gotten that green pendant. There's an armor up in the compass chest, which he missed on the first route, so that cost him a little bit of time, but being on 6 hearts may be worth it at this point.
Yeah, that's 6 heart red mail right now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now that all of our damage now has gone from being 2 hearts to now just 1 heart or half heart, depending on what it is. And having that red mail at 6 hearts, yeah, definitely a great find. And looks like Ricky now making his way up to Dark Death Mountain as well. I kind of hate to say it, but are we going to see a pendant Turtle Rock?
That's where Danny's headed. I'm sure I'm sure that Ricky is headed that direction as well. Okay, no, he's not going in there yet, just yet.
Find ourselves another key there to pod there in the bottom of Paradox Cave on Ricky's side. Now we're going to check out the top here. While in Super Bunny here on Danny Music, just got to map to Swamp Palace, which that's useless, and Bombos. Ooh, that's definitely a good find. for when we get to Cold Stare. And Ricky picking up a couple of heart pieces, so he's kind of looking out now for his heart safeties. Be interesting to see if he does go back into Tower of Hair and picks up that red mail and that green pendant for whatever on the other side of it.
All right, and we got a hookshot K for Danny Music. Few items in here, big 20. Ooh, got hit by that jelly and took a fall. All right, second try. We got another big 20. Something's got to be in here. There we go. Big key to Desert Palace.
And some more money. So definitely a good find. We're needing that big key into Desert Palace here. And let's see here. Mirroring out here for Danny Music. So he's going to check out Spiral K possibly. Nope, he's just fluting out.
So with the Fire Rod and the Candace Samaria, they do have the opportunity to go, a little bit into Turtle Rock. Must not be anything here in the compass chest or the roller room just to the right. I think they might have one small key, and that's enough to get them to Chain Chomp. Probably not worth it to go in there.
And it looks like Danny may gonna make his way back into pod. He now has a couple more keys, so that's gonna make life a little bit easier. Now it should give him enough to get to King Helma as long as there's nothing in the back. I believe you can do all that with 2 keys. I'm trying to think off the top of my head here.
Yeah, there's a key to get, there's a locked door to get to the back, and there's a locked door to get to Helma. So minimum, you'll need 1 in this situation. But he did pick up that second one, so is going to try for a little bit further dip into Palace of Darkness here. Starting with Salphos.
Oh, we're going to see an Ice Palace play here on Ricky's side. Ooh, interesting call here. I mean, he does have all the tools to get through it as what you need. You got the bombos, you got your fire rod, you got your hammer, you got your cane. Any way that this dungeon could be locked, you have it, so you can take care of it with no problem.
All right, did get that big key in Palace of Darkness, big key to Palace of Darkness here in the Stalfos basement of Pod. So we are good to go for Helmasaur on Danny Music's end.
Yeah, and it looks like here on Ricky's side, look like he's just foregoing everything here. Just gonna hit the switch here, gonna go hit the switch in this north room, come back, do a very nice icebreaker, which I am jealous of everybody who can possibly do that, because I struggle like no other on that glitch. But it's one of the coolest glitches I think in the game, at least on my side anyways.
So as Ricky sets this up, let's walk you through it. You're going to make use of this door state. You kind of put yourself just inside the door, and you're going to clip into the wall, place a block, move it a pixel, and with that, you're able to walk directly through the wall, just like that.
Not fair. That's all I want to say. All the runners that can do that, not fair. I'm still stuck doing the bomb jump. And then it looks like he's going to pick up his key here. And it looks like Danny Music trying to kill all these wonderful turtles here with the hammer here. Kind of getting bodied by some of them, but he's about got them all. He got 2 left here. There we go. So now he's on his way to go face on King Helmasaur. And Ricky just a few rooms away here from Cold Stare.
Yeah, thankfully picked up that Master Sword, because Fighter Sword is not going to do a lot of damage here to Cold Stare. Would be better off with the hammer. If I'm not mistaken, he picked up a fairy in a bottle too, which will help him as he takes on Cold Stare.
Yeah, because Ricky did not go back and tie her hair for that red mail. And it's starting to kind of see the difference between that Master Sword and Fighter Sword. Now, granted, there's not a whole lot of difference in the light world, but in the dark world, it's a big difference. And now here, Danny's trying to use some arrow shots to take down King Helma's sword. Just needs a couple, but needs to be careful at 2 hearts. But he does have his red mail.
I mean, he's got the cape too. If he needed to, he could pull that out, but does plant an arrow right in that center. Takes down Helmasaur.
One thing I was kind of surprised on Ricky's side, he's got that Bombos, but I was surprised that he did not use that Bombos to break open that shell, but he ended up using his Fire Rod, so that would have saved him some magic if he'd done that. But it seemed like he's doing a great job here with all those Master Sword spins, and there goes Cold Stare. Nice fight there on Ricky's side. Nice job.
Yeah, that was an excellent fight. So we see both of our red crystals here, one on each side. Gonna need them both. And see here, Danny Music just mirroring away to finish off some of Eastern Palace. We saw earlier that the mirror was in the big chest, and they didn't finish it. There's got to be something back here.
Very interesting. We've been in every pendant dungeon so far except for Turtle Rock. Kind of makes you wonder. I'm not saying it, but I'm definitely thinking, and I'm pretty sure Chad can read my mind too. But man, I hope I'm wrong. I'm not going to jinx it here. I don't got Jinxie Girl here to blame it on. So,
well, we're headed back to Armos. Got to be something there we didn't get a chance or didn't venture into earlier. Interesting. We had the bow. We had the big key. Just didn't go all the way here.
I say, did we ever get to see that green pendant check in yet? On Danny Music's side?
No. He still has hold of that green pendant. Has not given it back to Sahasrara. I would imagine after Pod he gets it. All right, what does Pendant Armos have for us? Setting up for the quick kill in the top of the screen. Hit him real quick with these arrows. Oh, they got away from him.
Oh. Oh, come on, not the circle of death here. Now, come on. Go away.
I gotta see what's on Armos.
Oh! Oh, the silly air thing. I get that all the time when I'm watching on Twitch.
All right, we'll get him back. We'll get Danny back for you real soon.
Aramith, you around? And Ricky here making his way down into the basement here. Gonna pick up his second crystal here. Or not his second crystal. This will be his second 5/6 crystal here.
Yeah, this will be his second red. 5th crystal overall. After this, we need to figure out how to clear out Mire and Desert Palace. Come to think of it, are we in go mode here? We haven't called that out yet.
I believe that we are. At least on item wise, key wise.
Well, we know where the Desert Big is. We got the Desert Big. We've got the Meyer Big. Yeah, I think we're set.
Yeah, I think
Is
we are as well. Because I think with Meyer, all you need is, I think you need the big key and one small, if I remember correctly.
and there's even a small in the spike room, so we could definitely just get there with the big key if we're in go mode. Here, Ricky takes down Helmosaur pretty quickly. I think this just comes down to how good your low percent Ganon's Tower and Ganon fight are going to be.
Yeah, hopefully here they're going to be picking up another sword, because man, for me, when I always see a Master Sword Silverless Ganon fight, that is just such a long fight. I mean, I know for a lot of these runners, that's the easiest fight in the world, but it'd be nice though if you can get that tempered sword here, which hopefully that they've already found it and they're just got to make their way to it.
All right, quick stop off at Desert Palace. Let's take down Landmalice before we head into Misery Mire. But that's the last place we are. And Danny into Misery Mire.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and tell you that they're on Armos Night, which is the big key to Swamp Palace. That was what we missed there on the Armos Nights here on Danny Music side. So kind of interesting to see what he's thinking here when for that second pendant here. We're gonna go eventually make his way into Turtle Rock. You're gonna pick up that third pendant, maybe. Oh, like I say, I'm thinking it, but I'm trying really hard not to say it.
Yeah, I mean, we were already in Swamp. I'm not sure why you'd pick up the big key at this point, but
Yeah, and this fighter sword victorious fight. Oof, this is definitely gonna be a long fight here. And wow, if you blinked, you missed the Lambless fight there on Ricky's side. Holy cows. 6 fire shots, 3 burnt worms to a crisp. And that gives crystal number 6 on Ricky's side. Just one more to go here, Misery Mire.
you know that red male is bailing out Danny, but he's got to be careful. And you know, even using that cape, he's only got the fighter sword. That's not going to do enough damage here to these eyeballs to make a difference. Got to use spins, get that next tier sword damage.
Yeah, trying to use that hammer while he can. Looks like Ricky now making his way into Misery Mire with the Master Sword here. And he's got the big key and a key, so this is going to be a very quick Misery Mire. Don't have to worry about checking any of the chests here. He's good to go.
So I like how Danny's taking this fight, right? He's luring out one of these eyeballs at a time and making a very deliberate spin. He's not being reckless here. He's already used his potion, only down to 4 hearts. He's not able to take really any other hits. So he's got to take it slow, and I like what he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing a great job here, going slow. Unfortunately, though, when he does get to the big eyeball, though, he doesn't have enough arrows here, so he's gonna have to take his time there as well with the big eye. But man, he's doing a great job of being deliberate, like you said, with these eyeballs. And there you go. There goes the last one. So now it's just time for the big eye. And I don't know if you just saw that or not on Ricky's side. He actually just picked up the big key to Tower of Hera. So that's an interesting find so far. Be interesting to see what he does with that. And now he's making his way to the back. Danny doing an amazing job here with these fighter sword spins here on Vitreous. He's doing a great job of just hitting him and avoiding him as well. Since you only really have half a room here for the final for this boss here. Don't want to touch that goo here, even though with red mail, I'm still going to do a harder damage here.
There's probably 3 or 4 times I thought he was going to get hit, but he's escaped narrowly. And yeah, he's doing an awesome job here.
Yeah, using that cape to help him out just a little bit here, kind of get himself out of a corner. And, ooh, man. He's doing a great job of fitting in some tight spaces here. There he goes. Man,
that's one for the books. That's a great fight from Danny Music.
Yeah, chat, you need to give that guy a round of applause for that fight. That was one heck of a fight on Danny Music's side, taking down Vitreous with that fighter sword. He took his time, and he definitely did it. Wow. Unfortunately, though, all that work for just a Fisher-Price shield. Man, I don't know if
he got a crystal out of it.
That's true. He needed that one because that puts him at Crystal 6 as well. Or no, Crystal 5.
Crystal
it was 4
if our tracker is accurate here. Did he do Mothula?
Yeah, he did. He died the first time, but he went back the second time and took care of him. So he just needs to finish up Desert Palace and Ice Palace, if I remember correctly. I do believe that he did kill Mothula.
All right, here we're seeing a bit of a difference here. That sword advantage is huge. Ricky is able to use the cape and spam the heck out of that Master Sword. Take care of those eyeballs. Take care of the big eyeball. Just got to be careful here. Does have that fairy in case.
Yeah, I did have plenty of arrows on that one, so did play it nicely. And that right there, that's his 7th crystal of the match. Normally this time we would be talking about the big key guessing game for Gannis Tower, but we already got the big key. So no game today.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to spam numbers. We're not going to do anything with them, but sure. But yeah, Ricky is on his way to Ganon's Tower. Believe has a small key, just able to go straight up at the top.
And there goes Lamos down there. That's for his, we're going to say 5th crystal for right now. We'll have to see next time he goes to a menu here to double check, see if he's got that skull was pinned. I'm thinking he did kill. I know he died the first time. Or no, he did die the first time and never went back in. Now that I think about it,
yeah. I'm getting word from our tracker that no, he did escape from the moth fight, and that was it.
Man, there it is. Yoinker's wife saving the comms. Nice job. That's always great when our tracker saves us.
I mean, someone's got to save us.
That's true. That is very true.
Deadrock's in the way. Can't get past him.
I was hoping to go through one game where we didn't see where a runner get deadrocked here.
I love this little tech here. You use the powder and turn them into these blob monsters. It's good revenge on the Deadrocks. Very cathartic.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. It's always nice to see, though. Finally kill those things that always do a great job of killing you.
All right, so we're still in Master Sword. Only way out of this is to find another sword somewhere on the way. Maybe it's early in Ganon's Tower. Maybe it's way up at the top. going back into Tower of Hera. Did pick up that big key.
So it looks like he wants that red mail, which being on, was that 6 hearts? I don't blame him. Was that the book there on Danny Music's side? When did we pick up the Book of Medora?
I did not see. And I don't see it on the tracker. I don't know if... But he did pick it up. Okay, I did see on the map, on the pause screen.
Oh, that was our green pendant turn in. That's what Saha had. He has the Book of Medora. I'm looking at the spoiler log right now. Interesting. I missed that one. I didn't even see him turn it in. And it looks like Ricky doing the other way of getting into the hair pot, using with the spin speed here. And looks like, he had it on that one.
He just missed it, right? There's a couple ways to do that, actually. So you saw the spin speed. Yeah, you saw a boot setup, I think, from Danny Music earlier. There's a bootsless setup, too. A lot of different ways to get in to the Harapot.
Yeah, it's amazing here. The game almost 30 years old, and the game is still being found a way how to break the game. And it looks like he's going to be up here. So this is probably where he's going to pick up his red mail, which again, like I say, I don't blame him with 6 hearts. Yep, there it is. And he mirrors out. He doesn't want that green pendant or the Book of Medora, so...
Yeah, that red mail, probably worth it at this point. 6 hearts. We got a Cold Stare fight. Here's what you were saying about using the Bombos tablet, Bombos medallion to break the ice. Saves you a little bit of magic, and you can use the rest of that for the fire rod. Man, he is still on the fighter sword. This is going to be a tough fight here for Danny Music.
Well, the nice thing is, though, he had that blue goo. He's going to use that. So there goes 1 puff, there goes 2 puffs, and there goes 3 puffs. So it's amazing how life goes when you got that fire rod on Cold Stare.
Yeah, he showed me wrong.
Yeah, and RickyofKokiri going to the basement here. Here we are in the Stalfos room, and oh, there's our tempered sword. There we go. There we go. So RickyofKokiri now, or Kokiri, now we can truly say is safe go mode now. Now we got that tempered sword.
Gotta be careful. You're still on 6 hearts here up in Ganon's Tower. You don't have really much margin for error. So he's got to pull out the cape to even make it through this room. And the powder. All right, Danny heading back to Skull Woods, it looks like. Gonna finish off Moth, get his 7th crystal, and get ready for his Ganon's Tower climb.
So we do still have 1 sword that's left out there. Be kind of interesting to see which swords that Danny Music picks up here. I mean, I can't imagine him going into GT just to pick up that Master Sword. I would think he would definitely have to go pick up a 3rd sword somewhere. I mean, we did see Stumpy, Thieves Town, and GT, so hopefully he'll be picking up one of those.
Yeah, some of these swords were actually kind of out of the way. Stumpy was the only easy one. We saw that the Master Sword from Ricky was in Thieves Town basement which he had to go to Castle Tower to get a key to get there. So definitely not right in the way for him.
Now Ricky picking up that fairy with the powder. Got one shot in here on Lamos 2, while Danny Music now taking on the Moth. And this will be his 6th and final crystal before he heads up to the mountain here. Little better equipped, unfortunately still stuck on that fighter sword here, so gonna have to rely here on the fire rod and possibly the hammer here, but with red mail, still needs to be careful here.
Well, red mail's not going to save you from those spikes. It's going to do 1 damage regardless, so it is going to have to be careful. Down to 3.5.
Yeah, Moth is playing kind of favorably. He's staying down low. There he goes. Down goes the Moth. So right there, just shy of an hour and 12 minutes. That now gives Danny Music his 7th and final crystal. So now he's going to make up his way up the mountain for the final time. While Ricky here is just a few rooms away here from taking on Moldorm 2 here.
Yeah, playing it safe, getting that full magic refill. They don't have half magic, so they're going to need every little bit they can to pull off a 6-heart tempered sword, silverless Ganon fight here coming up.
Picking up the fairy safety, picking up the magic. And now here is everybody's favorite worm one last time. There's our spin. Now we see a slash. Looks like he's going to do a second spin. Oh. Gets bodied off of the bat there. So now we got to go back up. There, down. There goes Moldorm 2. And now will we actually get to see what's hiding here in Moldorm's chest? And we do just, wow, vanilla $20.
You know that there's 20 rupees there. That's got to be for funsies.
Well, true. And now it's a time for everybody's favorite math test.
Agonometry. All right, here's where Danny Music's gonna probably pick up that Master Sword.
And there goes Aga too. All right, so just under 114.5. Down goes the big pig. Or now it's time to fight the big pig. He's not down yet.
Fighting a pig with bacon.
And there's Danny Music. Yeah, that's his Master Sword. Going to use the mirror. Probably. Oh, no. He is noping out. So, only place I can think where he's going here would be Ether Tablet. And, yeah, that's where he's going. So, is that our 4th sword, maybe?
That or silvers.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about silvers. We haven't seen silvers yet, have we? And just like, sword. Oh yeah, there is our tempered sword. So that was our 4th sword of the game. And just like that, we're now here on the 2nd phase on Ricky's side, using the cape to take him down. And now here we are in phase number 3, doing our temper tantrum fight here. Ganon's going to tell us where our where silver arrows are at. There's hit number 3. There's hit number 4. Danny making his way upstairs. Silver's in the light world. So
a lot of light world locations we didn't see here.
There is. Now, I will ask this. Have you seen the spoiler log yet? Because I do know where they are. I have looked.
I also know where they are, and it's not pretty.
No, it is not. Do you want to tell them, or should I?
Let's let the credits roll for that. But, man, we got to give Ricky here this fairy to finish this out. This is 6 hearts. Interesting that, there was another sword right in front of him on the ether tablet he didn't get. That would have made this fight and the gauntlet just a little bit easier for him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, now that you point that out, I wouldn't have thought of it either. So, unfortunately, I lost track of where he was at when it came to spins. I do believe that he still does have his blue potion, so at least he does have that. So because he's about out of magic here, but I think he's, if I'm right, it's about 2. Or no, I guess that's not enough for a lamp shot here. So, and now Danny here making his way up the gauntlet here. Ricky made it look extremely easy earlier. Danny doing the same thing. Oh, Chad is pointing out, though, you need the book to pick up that 4th sword on the pedestal there, or not at the pedestal, at the ether tablet.
Right, and, well, we can ask him a little bit about this in a second. He just finished off Ganon and has to cross this bridge in order to finish off the seed, save Hyrule. Get your GGs in chat for Ricky, who is going to finish within a time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, 55 seconds. GG.
Yeah, GG. Throw your GGs in there for Ricky here. Great race. And here, Danny, he is on Lamos 2 here. I think one more strike here will take down Lamos 2. Yep, there he goes. So with that victory there here on Ricky's side, that makes the team now 4-3 here in the league. Gives them 12 points. Going to make things a little bit tighter in their league, or in their division. Still a lot of races to be run this week here. I mean, it is only Tuesday this week, so definitely a lot more races here. And that puts Guardian of the Galaxy Brand, it puts them in a tie for 3rd. But it just puts them a game behind We Need a Mentor, and then puts them 2 games behind 16-Bit Nerds. So, going to be interesting to see what happens this week, what the turnaround's going to be.
Yeah, and here we are joined by Ricky of Kokiri and his pilot, Alhado. GG's, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so first question I'd like to ask is, you went through all the trouble to get the green pendant, and behind the green pendant was
no, that wasn't us.
No,
we didn't do green pendant.
The other team went for green pendant.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. So why don't you start off? Tell me what you thought about this one.
The swords are awful. I don't understand why I died to Argus when I was in the midst of killing that blob, but that kind of tilted me, but pulled through.
Yeah, it was at a scary time because right then we were kind of neck and neck with them. We were both in swamp at the same time, so that was definitely had us worried for a moment. But we just tried to keep patient, keep it slow, be extra cautious. Hearts were terrible in this race as well. Like
that's
both
actually
teams are at 6.
Yeah, that's actually the lowest heart container I have had. Normally, I aim for like 7 or 8 hearts, and I had 6, so that was pretty good. Responding to chat, I was swinging left because I was avoiding doing the upswings. I was left, and for some reason, the hit detection nailed me instead of the blob. I guess it was weird.
Yeah, but other than that, like there weren't too many crazy double dips that you had to do. I think we double dipped Pod. We thought we were gonna have to double dip Hera, but that was
Well,
just
we kind of chose to double dip Hera because we knew we were
yeah,
ahead. Pod, we didn't technically have to double dip, I don't think, but we wanted those boots, so.
yeah, boots and flippers. We wanted to get that over with there. So I don't think there was anything required as a double dip, and the dungeon items, like stuff locked inside dungeons, were all really, overall pretty pleasant.
Yeah, if you guys were feeling brave, you probably could have single dipped a few of these, but given the heart situation, like you're talking about, not not very pleasant. And here we see the other bow here was on Ped. We were
Yeah.
kind of teasing chat about that earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Yeah, but it ended up being such a huge play for us, I think, to make that dip into Castle Tower to get the small key to Thieves Town, so we had an earlier Master Sword. I think that saved us a significant amount of time overall.
Yeah, you guys had a sword advantage through most of this. While you had Fighter Sword, Danny Music had nothing, and then while he had Fighter Sword, you did spend the time to get Master Sword, which really helped out in the long run.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if that time investment was going to pay off, but it sure did.
Well, because I figured, because we were discussing it, and I could have just gone to Thieves Town, but I am so much more comfortable with Master Sword. Like, I knew once I got Master Sword and Blue Mel, I was okay. And so yeah, that's why I went, because I knew that I would make the time up just having that sword.
Yeah, that was the big difference in a lot of this race. I mean, unfortunately, both of you took Des at the wrong time, with you taking one at Argus, and then Danny Music took one there at Mothula. And then with you just taking that time to go into that Castle Tower, going all the way to that second chest just to get that key into the basement of Thieves Town. I mean, because he was on Fighter Sword, because that was the sword he got in at Stumpy. He got
right.
And then he didn't pick up his second sword until he got to Ganon's Tower there in the Stalfos room.
Yeah, these swords were nasty.
Pretty crazy, and the unfortunate placement of silvers in this one too. Like, no way was anybody going to be going to get those.
Ooh, and Danny Music unfortunately takes a fall there to Ganon.
Oh no, that's a bummer.
Yeah, if you look at Danny's Music tracker, we were kind of confused there because he did pick up the green pendant, which did lead to the book.
Yeah.
And then he also actually completed Eastern Palace as well. And I was kind of thinking, okay, he's going to go after those silver arrows, because I actually saw where the second bow was pretty early in the game.
Right.
And I was just kind of scratching my head. It's like, is that really worth the time? I mean, I would think both of you guys and all of our runners can do a silverless Ganon fight without any problem. So
yeah.
That was the only thing I could think of, is like maybe he feels safer doing it with silvers, but I think maybe
we were
it just
a little
came
bit
down to a
confused
misread
about
of the
that.
log. Because when I saw him there, I was like, oh no, did I miss something that's in Eastern?
So let me ask this: you had the Canis Samaria going into Swamp Palace, so Diver Down would be no problem.
Right.
The half magic actually is over on left side.
Yes, I know.
You skipped it.
I made a conscious decision to skip it because, I love half magic, but we didn't have Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock was not required. Mothula, I figured as long as I have a bottle, and I was thinking, pretty much determined I was going to get that Master Sword in Thieves Town, but it was still kind of 50-50. Argus kind of made it 100%. But yeah, that was a conscious decision on my part. I was like, I'm just going to go for it because we'll see what happens. Because it's only going to save me unlike the Ganon fight, which honestly I probably should have gone for the Ganon fight because I was stressing about magic and that did not help my execution. But I made it.
Yeah, I think, especially for us, like knowing where we were both at that time, being neck and neck in Swamp Palace, we did have the sword advantage, but we knew right after they were going to get that sword.
Yeah,
so it
that was
kind
part
of
of it
like, do
too,
we
yeah.
want to jump ahead and like grab half magic? Is it worth it right now? Because we didn't know. Obviously, we had no idea how the rest of it was going to fold out.
Now Danny Music. Now he's on his fourth phase here of his second round of Ganon. I believe that's number 3 spins so far. So he's about a quarter of the way there. There's number 4. Yeah, unfortunately, I've already lost count here. So
It looks like he's in a good rhythm. We should be finished in just a moment here.
So Ricky, who's in game 2 for you guys for this week?
It's going to be Wes with Ohado piloting West Side Vandal.
Gotcha. And right there, down finally goes Ganon. And he is going to cross the 1x3 bridge, and with the official time of 1:27:28. So throw your GGs in there for Danny Music. He finishes in second place here for this race.
GG's.
GG's.
Hopefully we'll get him and his co-pilot in here in a second. So is there any weeks you guys are looking forward to as we were waiting here on our other 2 guys here?
Well, let's see. It's Mystery next week, and then AD Keys the week after that, and then the final co-op Enemizer the week after that. I'm looking forward to the co-op Enemizer.
Yeah,
like
that one's gonna be fun, I think. I mean, this was the week I was most looking forward to.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. It sounds like we
GGs.
finally got Danny Music and Jeff here. GG's, gentlemen.
GG's, guys.
GG.
All right, so what's your initial thoughts here?
That was an experience. I was pretty happy with how I handled that stupid Vitreous fight.
Yeah, I heard you did a Fire Sword Vitreous. GG's on that. Oh,
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was impressive.
I just looked over and it's like, oh, I don't have any arrows. This is kind of awkward.
Yeah, you definitely took your time, and it was a very good fight. I mean, you just, with that fighter sword, that's all you can do is just did those spins. I think you used one potion once, but I mean, you eventually took him down. It was a great fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's on me for not routing into the arrow upgrade. It was even the thing that came up in our practices a couple times, routing through that arrow upgrade. But
was that what you were going for then? Because you did get the green pendant there from Tower Hera. You did get the pendant there from Eastern Palace. Were you thinking silver arrows on the pedestal, or?
So Eastern Palace was a misroute, but we basically made the calculation to not pick up the sword. So the 4 swords were one somewhere accessible, and then one in the Thieves Town big chest, and then one in Ganon's Tower, and one on the Ether pedestal. And so we basically made the calculus not to get the Thieves Town small key, and run Fighter Sword the whole game, and then try to pick up the 2 right before Ganon.
Right.
Yeah, because
so the pedestal, so the Tower of Hera was necessary to make that work, but the Eastern was just a misroute. That was my bad.
Yeah, because that was the biggest difference between the 2 runners here. With Ricky here, he went into Castle Tower, got the key that he needed to get into the big chest of Thieves Town, and he picked up his Master Sword there. and then you guys didn't pick up your Master Sword until you got to GT, and that was probably the biggest difference of this entire race. I mean, you, as we said a little bit earlier, unfortunately, both of you kind of had unfortunate deaths throughout. Ricky had one at Argus. You had one early at
Mothula.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it was kind of interesting. I mean, I know I was scratching my head trying to figure out with the two pendants. The green pendant I kind of understood, but I didn't know what was on the green pendant, and somehow I missed your Saha turn in, which ended up being the book,
Yeah.
which that gave you your third sword.
Yeah, it was kind of nice being able to grab the Master Sword from Ganasauer and then just mirror out, grab the Tempered Sword right away, and then have Tempered Sword throughout the entire time, clearing the tower. And again, like with the deaths, it's frustrating when it happens, but at the same time, like this is a format that is very difficult for everyone involved, both the person who's routing through, just trying to parse everything through in extremely limited time and route on the fly, as well as for the runners being able to get through the entire game on basically minimal equipment and safeties. So some amount of casualties is relatively to be expected in this format.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Jeff, but the first 30 minutes of being the pilot is so stressful.
Yeah, and we had misread the rules too. So we were expecting we misread that the 15-minute pre-read applied to the dual pilot or the dual player race instead of just the other spoiler race. So we were like, oh yeah, okay, we'll have 15 minutes, like figure it out, whatever. And then it's like, oh no, surprise, ready, set, go. So like I was extra like sweating right in the first few minutes.
Yeah, I saw that like clarification at the beginning, and I was like, "Oh no, I feel really bad for the position they're in at the moment."
Yeah, and we made it work, but it was a little ugly in the first couple minutes.
The convenient thing is like the runner can just kind of run through Kakariko Village, and you might pick up a couple extra things, but that's usually something good there, so it gives you a little bit of a buffer.
Right. Honestly,
Yeah.
I thought the beginning we routed relatively fine. There was like a little bit of a mishap with the Death Mountain, but yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, just keeping track of it myself, like both teams, we were pretty in sync for a while, which was really cool to see.
Yeah, I wasn't watching you guys at all. Got enough problems.
Yeah, I mean, up until you guys were pretty much neck and neck all the way up until Danny's death to Mothula, if I remember correctly. I'll need Lumaga to kind of help me on that one.
Well, I died to Argus, so that helped him get ahead. But then the death on Mothula and me going to get the Master Sword at that moment kind of set it back.
Yeah, going to get that Master Sword was definitely an investment. I think that was probably the mid-game difference maker here.
I'm still not sure, like if we ran this exact same seed again, whether or not like which route to call. I actually even theoretically don't know which route is better. I feel like the route that we did is a little faster, but it's definitely more dangerous.
Yeah,
we were
it just makes
debating here
the
in
boss
the
fight
booth.
more
It was
difficult leading
dangerous.
up.
Yeah, how comfortable are you guys here with low percent here? I mean, we look here on Ricky's side, he's got six hearts, and I think Danny, you had 6 or 7 as well. I mean, is that
6.
common for you guys here?
It's
No.
to be it's
On
to
the
be
low
expected
side,
with this
yeah.
format though. So, like,
Well, Danny told me right before we set up for the race today that he'd been practicing the boss fights. So there we go.
mhm.
Put you through your paces.
So here we are. This was race number 1 here, week 4 for you guys. When is race number 2 between you guys?
Thursday, same time, I think.
Yep, Thursday at 10.
Who's going to be running for ambiguously canon content?
Brackar,
Yeah,
the
it'll be
other
myself piloting again
teammate.
and Brekar.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's Thursday at 10 o'clock here. Hopefully that race will be here on the ALTTPR League channel here, 1 through 4. So you definitely see that. Any final comments on the seed, gentlemen?
No, just
Silver's on
wish the
pedestal.
swords are better. Silvers, oh my gosh.
Silver's on the pedestal.
Bad sword layout.
Mm.
Hey, at least the ice rod wasn't a factor this time.
Yes, that was in GT, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it was. It was in GT. I saw it. It's early.
It was.
I want to say it was Hope Room.
Oh nope, no, it's in the mini Helmstar room. So it was actually up at the top. Never mind. It wasn't early. It was late. So, but yeah, if you can, if you look here on the screen, we got some races that are coming up here. Just a few races tomorrow here in the Open League. There is some races tomorrow for the Invite League, but here later in the week, definitely the week is going to be busy. So you got your chance of this spoiler log key sanity week. This is my favorite week that I look forward to every year. Next week's got Mystery Week, then Key Sanity, All Dungeon Week 6, and then Enemizer Co-op Week 7 before the playoffs. So, I mean, it's hard to believe that here we are at the halfway point of the league here, and everybody's still in very much contention here. I mean, all the points are here. I mean, just a win here or there can definitely change the league here. So, I really have nothing less to say. Mike Kokam, Lumaga, you got anything?
I think you've said just about everything. I want to spread GGs around to our runners. Anybody watching, be sure to give them a follow. They all did great today, and look forward to them on Thursday as they take on each other again. Give a follow to our tracker, Yoinker's wife, and my co-com, Bandman25. Had a great time calming with you. We should do it again sometime.
Oh, I definitely agree with you on that. Give a follow also to not just our runners, but their teammates as well. Here on Guardian of the Galaxy side, we got Ricky Ohondo and Westside Vandal. And then here on Gannon's content. Oh, I messed up my notes again. Danny Music, Jeff, and
That's Danny.
Brackar, thank you.
Yeah.
So we'll give them a follow as well. So that's all I got to say, gentlemen. Thank you for such a great race here. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time here with Umaga. So the only thing I can say is have a good night. Take care of yourself and take care of your family. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.